everyone, it's Top 10 Scary Urban Legends here. We are your hosts, Makayla
and Andrew, and today we are going to talk about the top 10 scariest demonic possession urban legends.
Kicking it off at number 10 is the Windigo. A Windigo is said to be a very rare demon. They are described as strong monsters that have a powerful desire to eat and kill their victims, humans. The legend states that a Windigo can possess you and turn you into one itself if the person is greedy or weak or wandering the woods alone at night.
There are multiple myths talking about what Wendigos look like, but the majority of them describe them to look like an animal, but very tall with a skull as a head, long legs, and their whole body covered in hair and drenched in blood. They are said to be very fast with strength like no other, super hearing, amazing sense of smell, and is said to walk on water just like Jesus. Now at number 9, we have the Ouija board demon. Zozo is a demon who chooses to only come through a Ouija board, giving him the name the Ouija board demon. This is a demon that was directly banished from God himself, so you best know there's a good reason for it. If you decide it's a good idea to play with the Ouija board, this is the demon you may encounter. Just to be sure, he will reveal himself by doing a figure 8 formation on the board and zooming back and forth between the letters Z and O. He's friendly at first, but in reality, that's the type of deception Zozo does. He likes to hide and pretend to be other people, mimicking the voices of our loved ones, and sometimes will take the form of their bodies in the shadows. As the game continues, Zozo begins to become more sinister. He is known for breaking objects, installing fear into others, just to have fun.
Here at number 8, we have Sirens. Originally, not much was known about the Sirens, because anyone drawn to their calls never came back alive. However, later Roman authors expanded on the idea of sirens. Some say sirens are mermaid-like creatures who lived on a remote island surrounded by rocky cliffs. Others say they were formerly handmaids of the goddess Persephone, who is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter. One day Hades looked above and saw Persephone. He immediately fell in love with her and had asked Zeus for her hand in marriage. Zeus said yes, but Hades knew Demeter would never allow it, so Hades stole her. Demeter gave the handmaids the bodies of birds to assist in the search for her daughter. However, they couldn't find her, so they eventually gave up. The sirens would lure passing sailors by singing to them. Their singing would possess any sailor listening to the point that they would lose all willpower and crash their ship into rocky shores and cliffs, killing everyone aboard.
Coming in at number 7, we have Akamana. Zoroastrian mythology speaks of the Akamana. The name loosely translates into mind made of evil. So you guessed it, he is the demon of evil intention, and that's exactly what he does while inside of a human host. He gives the appearance of a ram-horned humanoid with more than 2 arms. His purpose is to taint the mind and destroy all morals. Whether it's displaying an indifference to daily responsibilities or blatantly ignoring large-scale moral obligations. Akamana plants seeds of evil into human minds, including lust, sloth, and deceit. Just to give more background, his dad is Satan. And Satan decided to have 9 sons for whatever reason, and all of them were born out of darkness with a single goal to corrupt everything they encountered. Akamana is a hateful but self-loving being who wishes only death upon those other than him and the human he controls.
Sliding into number 6, Voodoo Dolls. Now I'm sure we all know what Voodoo Dolls are, but are they just legend or are they real? Voodoo Dolls are said to have originated from Europe. More specifically, the oldest known voodoo doll is said to be from Britain, as far back as the Middle Ages. In the Middle Ages, it was quite common for magic practitioners, known as cunning folk, to make a doll that looks like a witch and stick it with pins in order to break her spells and hurt her. The legend of voodoo dolls are that if someone has a doll with your energy or essence, for example, a piece of your hair or fingernail or some of your blood, that they can call upon ancient spirits to possess that doll and use witchcraft to link your body to the doll so that whatever happens to the doll happens to you.
Halfway there at number 5, we have the Yin Yang Theory. Unless you've been living under a rock, you have definitely seen this symbol. The Yin Yang Theory has penetrated into various traditional Chinese cultural things, including the calendar, astronomy, meteorology, Chinese medicine, martial arts, and the list goes on and on. The Yin Yang Theory applies to spirit possession. In general, one is considered to be weak when the yin and the yang in the body are in balance, especially when the yin is on the dominant side.
The spirits of the yin side will then take control of these individuals, causing them to associate with negativity and death. These imbalances also determine how weak your soul is. For example, if you had a weak imbalance, this would allow other ghosts and spirits to freely enter your body. To prevent this imbalance, a person must surround themselves with positive energies such as healthy eating, positive relationships, and exercising. Now at number 4 is Skinwalkers. Now from what I read, I'm not even supposed to be talking about this because it's bad luck to even talk about it. But I'm doing it for you guys, okay? A Skinwalker is basically a witch. Not an exact translation, but very similar. Legend says that Skinwalkers committed unspeakable acts in order to gain the power to change their shape into an animal in order to harm. They mimic sounds that might draw someone's attention, like the voice of a loved one or a stranger that might be in trouble, so that they can lure defenseless victims to their death. It's often personal, and it's very much like you having a hex put on you. A hex is kind of like a spell or a curse to control you. Take a look at this video I found on TikTok and be sure to listen very closely. And there's lots of theories that also say that animals can sense and see the supernatural better than anyone can. That horse sprinting in the other direction sells that theory for me.
Taking our number 3 spot, we have the Jinn. Jinns are entities from Arabic mythology. While Jinn are mentioned in the Quran and are thus part of Islam, these spirits are not worshipped in the faith. They are thought to transcend the boundaries of the physical world and are said to be made of smokeless fire. Jinns are also believed to be capable of human possession. They possess the bodily needs of a human being, and to make things worse, Jinn actually enjoy punishing humans and are said to be responsible for many diseases and all kinds of accidents.
Finally, here at number 2 is real-life Annabelle doll. Has anyone seen the horror movie Annabelle? Alright, well, fun fact, that movie is actually based on a true story. Now for the sake of the video, I'm going to be talking about all the real stuff that happened, not about the stuff in the movie, because not all of it is true. The real-life Annabelle doll was purchased from a store in 1970 and given by a mother to her daughter, Donna, who was a student in nursing school as a birthday present for her 28th birthday. Donna shared a small apartment with her roommate Angie, who was also a nursing student, and Angie's fiance, Lou. Angie would often come home to find that the doll had been moved. At first it was subtle, like they would find that the doll had shifted positions from where they last left it, but it started to progress. The doll would show up in Donna's room, sitting in a chair with its arms and legs crossed, standing up on its own, and even kneeling on a chair, and when they tried to put the doll back to that same position, it would just fall. Donna said that she would come home to find messages written in childlike writing on parchment paper. The messages would say things like, "Help us." Donna had spoken to a medium after noticing that drops of blood had randomly appeared on the doll. And the medium had said that a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle, who used to play in the fields of where their building now stands, was possessing the doll, and that her lifeless body was discovered in those same fields. Donna and Angie felt bad, so they allowed the spirit that they thought was Annabelle to stay with them and possess the doll. It's said that God does not allow child spirits to possess dolls. It was, in fact, a demon inside the doll that was impersonating a child's spirit. Lou didn't like the doll very much and warned Donna that it was evil. And one night when Lou was asleep, he woke up and realized that he was unable to move. He saw the doll at his feet and watched as it slowly glided up his leg and over his chest, and the doll had started to strangle him until he blacked out.
Finishing it up at our number 1 spot, we have the Jewish Dybbuks. Many of you have probably seen an example of a Dybbuk in popular horror movies such as The Possession or The Unborn. However, early tales of its existence date back to the word of mouth, specifically 17th century tales of Polish and German Jews. While many malevolent spirits remain invisible or take on the form of some hideous creature, the Dybbuk looks very much like a human. It often resembles a person familiar to the community it invades.
The first ever interpretation of a Dybbuk is a malevolent spirit of a dead person who reaches out to possess living people who are ill and sick. They bind onto the human soul, influencing their actions and behaviors. When a Dybbuk enters your body, it means you have done continuous bad deeds, which opens the door to your soul. Alright, well that's everything for top 10 demonic possessions, scary urban legends.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video.
Let us know in the comments which one you think is the scariest. We are your hosts, Makayla
and Andrew, and we hope you guys have a scary day.